Hello and welcome to Balanced Existence. I am back with another Twin Flame Collective energy update and tarot reading. I'm just going to shuffle the cards here and see what comes through, what you need to hear. If you're finding this message, whenever you're finding it, what message does the collective need to hear on their twin flame journey? I don't know about you, but where I'm at, it's raining and we don't get a lot of rain. So I love the rain. It's so cozy. It makes me so happy. And I feel like it's just washing everything away and it's such a cleansing feeling. So I am so grateful for it and I am in high spirits, let's say. So what does the collective need to know on their twin flame journey? How is the collective feeling? What do they need to know? Okay, we have the Six of Swords popping out right away. It's interesting because on the Six of Swords, you know, they're in a boat and they're in choppy waters. And although my card is not having rain on it, I'm getting this kind of like storm, like choppy waters, like when you're in the middle of an ocean on a ship and like the waves are really strong and treacherous. And it's just that dark, stormy part of your journey. And wow, and then we have the Strength coming out. So I'm feeling like maybe the collective is feeling, oh my gosh, and we have the Sun coming out right after it. Wow, that's so beautiful. So if the collective is feeling like they've been through a lot of difficulties, maybe you're feeling like I've made a lot of mistakes, you know, maybe you're feeling like you look back on your past and you're not necessarily proud of it, or you wish it could have been better. There's some resistance about how you see your past, but at the same time, you're committed to not just move on to a better future, but also you're committed to seeing your past in a different way. And this is a huge concept when it comes to manifestation, because it's not just about your future, right? Like if you look back at your past with shame and fear that it'll repeat itself and those negative emotions, you know, lack of gratitude or, you know, just that overall resistance, then you're in a mindset that's going to block you from future abundance, right? Like ultimately, in order to manifest abundance, we have to see everything through the lens of abundance, which means that we're looking at our past in a way that we feel proud. And as stormy as it was, we have this kind of higher perspective where we understand that it was all for a divine purpose. And we also have that self-compassion where, just like with a child, I'm seeing like the image of your inner child. If they made a mistake or, you know, they spilled their cup of water, like you wouldn't berate them because you know that they're a child and they don't have the grasp or same physical capabilities that an adult has, right? Little things like that. Or even like a baby crying, like you understand that they don't have the emotional regulation that an adult has, right? So in that same way, we look at our past and we see it with compassion, and we see that we were doing, whether we were a child or whether we were an adult, whatever experiences we went through and whatever mistakes we made, we truly were doing the best we could in that moment, given the tools we had. And to be able to look back on that with pure compassion and really, I'm hearing like the rain is washing away any remnants of shame or negative perspectives on your past. And that is a huge key message of what the collective is going through right now, whether it's raining where you're at or not. So what else can I channel? I mean, we've got the Strength, we've got the Sun, like brighter days are coming. And yeah, it's really about like allowing the rain and the storm to come and pass and not wish that we were in the sun, right? Like, because perspective, you carry it with you regardless of the external situation, right? Regardless of whatever circumstances you're in, regardless of the weather, right? So you're not going to sit in the middle of a storm thinking, why am I in this storm? Or why have I been in this storm in the past? I can't wait until there's sun, right? Like that's not going to be how you manifest the metaphorical sun, which is your abundance. Instead, wherever you're at in your journey, because maybe on the Six of Swords representation, depending on who you are, maybe you're at the point where you feel really close to the sun. Maybe you're at the point where you feel like you've just started, turning away from those choppy waters. Maybe you feel like you just got in that boat on the Six of Swords card and you just started your journey to move away from those choppy waters. Wherever you're at on this journey, the perspective of knowing you have the strength and knowing that the sun is coming and the ability to put on the lens of abundance, you can tap into that at any given moment, which is the power of manifestation. And that's the power that we have. We have that creator energy that we can tap into at any given moment. And that is a beautiful way to live. What else do we have here? 8 of Wands. Wow. So something's happening fast. Maybe you feel like you've just hit a pivotal point where you've just done a 180, and I'm hearing like you're tired of the negative thinking. You're tired of anything around you that's negative or misaligned with your essence. I'm really feeling, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I'm picking up on this energy where you're starting to recognize like the things around you, whether it be friends or family, and this could even be like close siblings or a parent or close friends, like friends you may have considered your best friends, but you're starting to realize that there are misalignments. And in a compassionate way, you're just simply recognizing not everything is fully aligned to you. And as you put on the lens of abundance, the part that we have to grieve is the part where we can look at those that we have held in high esteem, like our mother, our best friend, things like that, and realize that we can still hold this love for them and we can still appreciate them for who they are. But at the same time, when we wear that lens of abundance, for many of us, we see clearly the ways in which we don't align with our close loved ones. This is very specific, of course, take it as it resonates. But it's like what I'm seeing is there's something about, I'm even hearing like the TV you're watching, like the TV shows you're watching or the content you're consuming, if you're scrolling or things like that, you may be going through the motions with things like that or with the people you hang around, and yet you find yourself maybe repressing these feelings that you're not fully seen in the way that you can envision yourself to be when you do put on the lens of abundance. I'm really using this metaphor of almost like literally putting on a pair of glasses or sunglasses which have a lens that allows you to see abundance through them. And so when you are wearing these metaphorical glasses, you're kind of seeing what around you is not so matched to your energy. So this is, of course, very specific, and you've got to use your intuition to see how it resonates and see what it's awakening inside of you. But maybe there's something about the people you're around or the content you're consuming that you're recognizing isn't really putting you in that full state of feeling the strength, feeling the sun, like feeling that excitement for life and the high spirits that we want to be living in so that we can attract the most abundance that we can into our life. Like, we don't need to be playing small anymore. With the strength and the sun right next to each other, like that is huge. Those are huge, some of the most positive major arcana cards. And so to have those coming out right up front, it's like, put those glasses on, really pivot and really commit to seeing life in this abundant way and ride that wave of passion with the 8 of Wands. Like, really take it and run with it, because this is the highest version of you that you are stepping into and that has been waiting for you to step into. And with the 5 of Swords coming out as well, I think that's definitely picking up on this maybe conflicts that you've had and ways that you've been tested or challenged in a positive way, like in a way that is opening yourself to growth, but tested to really consider what matters to you, right? Like it's like a choose your battles I'm hearing, like pick your battles. What is important to you? Like what are the conflicts you want to be a part of? Probably not many, but maybe you find yourself kind of subjected to certain dramas based on who you're around or based on the content you're consuming. And yeah, okay, and we have the Hangman coming out. So this is all about your perspective and how can we assess our surroundings and our circumstances and determine what is a match and what is not, right? Things that you may not have been able to see before, you're going to be able to see clearly. Things that you may have repressed into your subconscious, you're now going to flip it around and bring it to light, bring it to your conscious mind. And then we have the Three of Wands. So starting this new journey, being able to plan for your future and really have more conviction, more of a confident aura about you as you look towards the horizon of what's to come. And the Two of Pentacles, so again, we kind of have these cards about juggling, what's important. Maybe you're having to make choices between things now that you're kind of reassessing what matters to you. And we have the Nine of Pentacles, so this is definitely your highest self, that is who you're stepping into and embodying going forward. This feeling of independence. And, the Nine of Pentacles is somebody who is not relying on external validation. And because she's so self-sufficient and independent, of course she has friends. She has people if she wants to have that social interaction. But ultimately, she's not relying on any of that for validation. And she's completely fine being on her own. There's this sense of not having this attachment towards external social connections, which can often be healthy, especially for any of the collective who feels like they are having to kind of reassess their friendships, reassess their relationships with family. I'm also picking up on another thread related to the holidays coming up. If you celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas or any kind of family holidays in the winter season, that may be a source of stress or conflict, or it may be a trigger to you. I'm picking up that the Nine of Pentacles is who your soul is craving you to embody, especially in these moments. Not feeling like you have to go through the motions and see family when it doesn't feel good, or it's not how you want to spend your holiday time off. And who's to say that there's anything wrong with wanting to spend time on your own and just reflect on the abundance that you're calling in. And I know that that's a very controversial perspective perhaps, but I'm just really picking up on this bold collective that, again, like with the Strength and the Eight of Wands, it's like we are not wasting any time. We're moving forward and we're embodying the highest self. That it's like, what have we been waiting for to before stepping into this highest version of ourselves, right? Like the door is open, the portal is open, like let us jump through and enter this new timeline. We're also getting the Queen of Wands and the Death. So yeah, I'm definitely just picking up on this like complete pivot from your old self and embodying this Queen of Wands energy, so confident and a passionate, natural born leader. It's like when the Queen of Wands decides something, people respect it, right? Like when you are embodying the Queen of Wands, you know yourself. You know what you want your life to look like. You know how you want to spend your holidays or how you want to spend your weekend, whatever it may be. And you don't allow people to question it or judge it. You just have this abundant sense of self-confidence and this warm energy about you. And that comes with having a strong sense of self-worth. So with the death, I'm really picking up on this huge transformation where, again, like with this rainy season, whether it's literal for you or metaphorical, like it is really just cleansing away any remnants of self-esteem or self-worth issues. You know, it's a complete ending of that past version of yourself that we now realize we don't need to embody at all. Like there's nothing left for us in that embodiment, right? Like there's nothing about those old habits and thought patterns and subconscious limiting beliefs that is going to help us moving forward. Like there's no room for that going forward. I'm also picking up on something I actually recently channeled into, which I think that it's coming through now because it's meant to relate to this message, which is that the bigger the dream, the more space must be cleared to make room for that, right? So if you want to think of it in the most literal sense, if you have a couch and you want to get a new couch, you have to get rid of the old couch so you have room to move in the new couch. But what if we took this a step bigger? Let's say you wanted to completely redesign and remodel your entire living room or even your entire house. Ultimately, yes, you could do things piece by piece, but if you really wanted a blank slate to completely use as a canvas so that you could have the most cohesive and thoughtfully formed design that you wanted, then the easiest way to do that would be to move everything out and have an empty room, you know, so you could look at it and have that space to then move all of the new furniture in. And this is just a metaphor, but by this logic, when you are asking for a lot of abundance to come into your life, and I'm getting for a lot of the collective, it's almost every aspect or facet of your life that you are manifesting abundance. Like, for example, your friendships, your sense of community, maybe your spirituality and your spiritual practices and rituals, and maybe your home, maybe you're looking to move, or maybe you're looking to, you know, make improvements in your literal home or actually move towns or cities or countries. Maybe your relationship as well, maybe your career as well, the way that you make money, the passion projects you do. I'm getting for a lot of the collective, your perspective on how you see abundance and how you manifest is completely expanding in this moment. And so when we have so many things that we're manifesting, and I'm getting chills channeling into this, we really do need to cleanse out every little bit and piece of that old paradigm, the old way of thinking. And so with the death, like this is crucial. It's not just about, okay, yeah, I'm becoming the Nine of Pentacles, I'm becoming the Queen of Wands. This is about clear out everything in the house, everything in the living room that is the old self. I'm getting chills again. Like, why are we keeping this old couch, which is our lack of self-esteem and lack of self-worth, right? Or why are we keeping this little side table that has a scratch on it, which is our, you know, sense of scarcity mindset, right? Like, clear it all out, let the rain wash it away. I know I'm mixing metaphors here, but bear with me. And open up that room to bring in the ultimate abundance that you have been manifesting and calling forward. And that's when the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, you've now cleared out that space and you can completely fill it with their embodiment. So, wow, that was really powerful. I want to pull some oracle cards to see what else. I'm going to pull my Tree Keepers Oracle because I love this deck. I think it's so magical and beautiful. So what can we pull for the collective about this journey of clearing out the old and moving away from choppy waters and moving towards our new timeline of abundance? Keeper of Transformation. Wow. So aligned. Every time I pull these cards, They just speak to each other so beautifully. So this is number 43. So that might be a significant number for you, or of course the number 7 if we're going off of the numerology. So I'm going to read this blurb for you here. This is the Keeper of Transformation, which again is so aligned with the Death card we just pulled, and how it's a very out with the old, in with the new energy, and especially with the rain washing everything away. Okay. Compassion and accountability are two wings belonging to the same butterfly. To transform your inner life, you must engage both. Likewise, you are able to transform your relationships and outward experiences into their highest potential when you seek the balance of compassion and accountability. You are being asked in this moment to see your situation impartially. Where do you need to be accountable or hold someone else accountable? Where and how do you get to engage compassion for yourself, for your others, or for a situation that needs grace and mending? Wow, that's beautiful. So, and we totally talked about that self-compassion at the beginning as well, about that inner child and being able to look back on your past with compassion and that understanding that you did the best you could with what you had, and that releasing of any judgment or shame about our past journey. And the accountability is so fitting as well, because we talked about looking at our friendships and the people we hang around, as well as the content and TV we consume, and really taking accountability towards what is aligned with me. And that accountability is huge, because it's really about that empowered perspective of, you know what, this is my life. And just because somebody has been my best friend, or just because this person is my parent or my sibling, doesn't mean I'm obligated to hold this particular role in their life. Like, if we are really tapped into what we want and who we are, and really embodying that self-sufficient, independent Nine of Pentacles and that confident, passionate Queen of Wands, then we're able to make much more aligned decisions about what we want to spend time doing. It's not to say you have to totally cut people off, but it's, again, especially around the holidays, like, really take accountability for your own life and the way that you spend your own time, because that's what's really going to step you into this new timeline where life feels good, because you are making intentional decisions about what you want, what is a match with your energy. Okay, I want to pull another oracle card from a different deck I have. What does the collective need to know? And by the way, if this is your first time listening, you'll notice that in these twin flame energy updates, it's not really about the twin flame. In fact, nothing about the twin flame even came up today. And I've said this in previous readings, but I'll just state it again in case this is your first time tuning in. But the purpose of the twin flame journey is not about the other person. It's not about the twin flame. It's not about, success only being measured by a permanent reunion with your twin. This is a mirroring journey, and then it's all about how you can achieve union with yourself, right? Union of your inner divine masculine, your inner divine feminine, how you can achieve balance throughout your life, how you can step into your authentic existence and really make aligned decisions by following your intuition, right? Like, how you can connect with your spirituality through ritual, like all of these things, how you can pursue creative projects. All of these things are what this journey is about. And when you can do all of that despite the triggers and the egoic traps that the twin flame is putting right in front of you, then you become a extremely powerful manifester. You tap into that creative and creator energy. So the card we have coming out is Happiness. And it says, immense delight can be found in the smallest of things. Cultivate fluttering moments of joy. And there's a hummingbird on this card, so that could be a important symbology for you. We had the butterfly on the transformation card, and we have the hummingbird here. So the message here is really to, again, like I was just saying, like, focus on what is going to bring you happiness. What projects, what ways that you want to spend your time, what people you want to surround yourself with, what content and movies and TV and whatever on social media you want to consume, what music you want to listen to, what is making you feel good. Because if you're doing things just out of some kind of habit and there's any inkling about it that doesn't really feel completely great and magical, then you are being called by your angels and spirit guides to question if that is something that is still truly aligned with you. Okay, let's pull one more oracle card because I really love these cards. Okay, we have the meditation card, and this is number 8. So I'm going to read from the booklet for you here. But of course, the message that's initially coming through in my channeling right now is to spend more time meditating, because that'll really help silence your mind. If you're thinking, well, I don't know what I want, I don't know what is the aligned decision, I don't know how to listen to my intuition. If you're listening to this, you probably are much better at listening to your intuition than you think, but to all of us, it often happens that we get bogged down by the noise and chatter in our mind, and it's a constant journey and practice to learn how to silence it. It's like working out or exercising. Like, you don't just lift weights one day and then maintain those muscles. Like, you have to continuously practice that weightlifting movement, just like you have to continuously practice meditation in order to sustain that kind of silence and peace of your mind. Okay, so the message here is, of course, it is time to begin or resume a meditation practice. Gently reflect on how far you have come. Emotional mastery means choosing to be in charge of your life by adjusting your emotions, ideas, and intellect to something that feels easier and softer. This discipline will liberate you by opening a door into the tranquility and wisdom of your soul's love. You can't go beyond limitations while you are still focused on them. Ooh, that is powerful. It also says, meditate by focusing on something that brings you joy, such as having a massage, playing with your pets, spending time with your children, or creating art. There is no right or wrong way to meditate. It is just a gentle shift in your attention away from the physical world and into a world of infinite possibilities. This is very fitting because we both pulled the happiness card, as well as, of course we had the sun in the reading as well, and just things that bring us joy, as well as we talked about abundance and those glasses that are our lens of abundance, right? And so being able to see infinite possibilities, gifting yourself that time of meditation to visualize and allow your imagination to practice expanding is going to be huge for tapping into that creator energy. It also says meditation is a way of resetting your energy that brings you into a neutral space from where you can move forward. Your life experiences have led you here. Allow them to be the catalyst that creates joy and freedom. And full circle, as we started the reading with the 6 of Swords and, talking about how we look at our past, I feel like this is so fitting because it's talking about seeing your past experiences, including the challenges, including the mistakes, the difficulties, the whatever you might consider failures, etc., considering those as catalysts, which launched you into a timeline where you were going to have greater access to joy, greater access to freedom, and a continuous raising of your frequency and your perspective. So I'm going to leave the reading here. I hope this resonated with you. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Please subscribe if you want more of these updates so you can get notified. I am really excited to build this community and hear from you guys more. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.